It's really, really important that you love yourself for you. Hey guys, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and what's up to all my returning subscribers. My name is Priscilla, Pris J for short, and welcome to my channel. For today's video, as you can already tell by the title, I wanted to do a little spinal cord injury health tips that has personally helped me in my life dealing with my spinal cord injury over the years. I've never really sat here and told you guys my story just because that's one thing I think that I'm not going to share on my channel probably ever, just because it gives me bad flashbacks. I get emotional and I just don't want to talk about it. If you guys did not know, for this month of September, it's usually Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. So I did write down, I wrote down my pen. I did write down a few tips just so I can remember and I don't be jumping off topic, and to kind of keep it professional and Well, the first thing that I have down here is having a routine. And when I say this, I'm going to break it down to what I mean with a routine. Before I get into that, I want to say that everyone's spinal cord injury is different. I'm a T11, T12, which means my injury is from the middle of the lower back. So even though I have that injury level, I can do things that some people that have a spinal cord injury cannot do. I have a lot of trunk control. I have function with my fingers, my hands. I know some people that have a spinal cord injury that cannot do any of this, cannot use their hand. My injury level is different. Everyone has different spinal cord injury levels. I'm also considered a complete paraplegic with my spinal cord injury. So there's two types of injuries when it comes down to a spinal cord injury. You have your incomplete and a complete. An incomplete is you have spinal nerve damage, but you still have bodily function. You can still function depending wherever that injury level is. You still have function there, you still have feeling, you can still do things. A complete is where I can't feel certain things, I can't move certain things, and it's just permanent damage. Basically, that's what complete means. Incomplete is just it's not all the way permanent. Over the years, I have got back feeling. I don't have as much bad spasms like I used to have. I'm stronger in lots of areas which I wasn't, and I used to be weak in, and I do believe it's because of the routines that I have had over the years with dealing and living with my spinal cord injuries. So I think it's really important that you have a routine, a daily to nightly routine if you're someone that lives with spinal cord injury, just because it will make things easier for you. It's good that you should have, depending on your level, that you have a bathroom routine. Everyone's situation is different of how you use the bathroom. If you're someone who has to self-cath, you cath, every certain amount of hours. I think it's good to have a skincare routine. If you're someone that's sitting 95% of the time like me because you can't walk on your own, I think it's great that you have a skincare routine, that you're checking your skin often. I would say daily, in the morning and then at night. I feel like having a routine in general is just really, it helps you a lot. It keeps you on schedule. It keeps you noting and monitoring what you're doing. I also feel like having a routine, it lowers issues that you don't have to have with living with a spinal cord injury, just having a routine. And I know it may sound like a lot if you're someone who still actively goes out and work every day, or someone that's a parent, because I know I don't go to a 9-to-5. I have my own schedule of working with doing hair and whatever else I do. So with me having a routine, it comes easily because I don't have other stuff that's on top of it that will make it hard for me to have. I don't have any kids. I do know a female that's in a wheelchair that's a mom, so I know it may be hard sometimes to have a routine too when you're not just alone. You have someone else that's depending on you too, that you have to have a routine with them. So I'm suggesting that it's good that you try to do and have a routine if you're someone living with a spinal cord injury, if you can. If not, still try slowly just to have a schedule of things you do for your health, as in skincare routine, bathroom regimen routine, what you're eating routine, to watch what you're eating, just to make sure you're eating correctly, eating right for your body type as well, which brings me to number 2 on my list, which is to eat right. Because eating right also can really play a big part in with having a spinal cord injury. When I say that, I mean like because you want to watch your weight. I know when I first got hurt, living in the city for in-home rehab and then coming home, my doctor told me I have to be careful and just make sure I'm watching what I'm eating, that I don't gain too much weight and lose too much weight as well, that I kind of just stay at the weight I was at. And it's actually pretty hard to try to keep that up when your body goes through something so traumatic and you lose body fat, because over the years I have lost is muscle weight in my legs and like in my butt and stuff. That's basically all I've lost weight wise. I've always been like 125. Right now I weigh 118. I don't really gain weight easily, even though I would like to gain back the weight I've lost my legs, which is really just muscle weight. And that's like one of my biggest insecurities that I still kind of deal with here and there, is because I don't really like how my legs look, but that's like a different story. I think it's really important that you eat right, that you watch what you're eating, that you get regular checkups as well too. Like if you can get a nutritionist, I think it'll be good to have nutritionists added to your doctors or whatever, just because they will help you to tell you what you should be eating, what your body needs, especially like if you're someone that has constipation issues. I used to in the beginning of my spinal cord injury, I used to have really hard time like making bowel movements. So with that, I had to take like enemas, I had to take Miralax and like all these other like medicines just to try to go to the bathroom, because the way I was eating, I wasn't really going to the bathroom like I needed to and like I used to. And also because, you know, I'm not as active anymore. I'm not jumping up, running down and doing so much stuff. And when you're sitting down and you're like in one position, it can be a little hard for you to get that waste out of your body. So that's why it's good to eat right, eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens. And even if you don't like to eat like kale, like spinach and stuff, smoothies too, chop it up. You know, smoothie it up. I hate to take pills. Put it in your smoothies, put it in your oatmeal, put it in stuff you could just easily swallow. Even if you can't smash them up and you have to swallow them whole, I think it's good to do with applesauce, grits, yogurt, you know, anything you could just swallow down. As of right now, I'm not on any medications from the doctors. I don't take all of the things I used to have to take back in the day, because I have a routine, which goes back to number one. I have a routine of how I eat and how I take care of my body. And that's with number two, like, you know, eating right. I try to take as much fruits and vegetables and eat as much healthy stuff that will benefit my body, so I don't have to be on medication and I have to be on meds. And I like it that way just because I like to kind of have say so of my body. I don't really like the doctors to tell me, or my doctor to tell me what I need to take and what I should be taking. So that goes back to number two, you know, eat right. Make sure you're also getting checkups as you can as well too. Number three, I think it's really important for you to do your research on things you think you cannot do or want to do now living with a spinal cord injury, especially if you're someone who's newly to having a spinal cord injury, living with that, dealing with that kind of situation. I think it's so, like, it's best to do your research. Like, in general, everyone should do research on anything they don't understand or they want to get knowledge on more about. But in this area, with someone who's newly to having a spinal cord injury, or someone that knows a friend or a family member that has a spinal cord injury and they aren't getting the information. So I think it's really important for you to do research. I thought I couldn't drive once I got hurt. I thought it was a lot I wasn't gonna be able to do anymore just because I couldn't use my legs or my feet or whatever. But I'm driving. Like, I've been driving for a whole year now, and I'm driving because I did my research, and I think I had typed in on YouTube wheelchair person driving or something, and then like all these different videos popped up on people that are in wheelchairs and how they drive and how they got there and what they use. And that's how I came across knowing what hand controls were, portable hand controls. And I brought me a pair for eBay, and that's like one of the best things I've ever did, because I thought, oh my God, like, I can't walk now, so now I'll never be able to drive, which is a lie. I thought it would be a difficult way for me to fly because I'm in a wheelchair, and it's like, oh my God. Before my chair, I never actually even got on a plane, but I thought because I couldn't walk that I wouldn't be able to get on a plane, because I always thought, like, I thought I had to like go upstairs or something, because I never took a plane before, so I'm thinking about jets and stuff. But yeah, so like, you know, you can do anything. I've seen people that live with a spinal cord injury do things that I was just like, what? Like, I never knew somebody in a wheelchair can do that. Somebody with a spinal cord injury that can do that. People that have injuries higher than mine, I've seen them do things I haven't even done yet. And it's like, wow, because you don't know what you can do until you do your research. Google and YouTube is the best place to go to do research, because that's what I use and I've used it for years. But I think those, like these two, YouTube and Google, are the best thing to go for when you want to do research on anything. And it's something there for everyone. So for number 3, I think that's really important for anyone that's living with a spinal cord injury. If you feel like you're not getting the answers you need from a family member, from a friend, or even your physician, like your doctor, do your own research. Figure out, you know, things you can do on your own. Because that's honestly how I got so independent in my life, living with a spinal cord injury, is doing research. And to this day, I still do research on things. So I think it's important that you do your research to figure out things you want to do. Number 4, I think this is important: patience. Patience, patience, patience. So this specific tip for someone living with a spinal cord injury, for me, because I still have to do this, even though I'm more independent now, having a car and stuff. Patience is something that I had to really learn and accept, which is really hard, from being someone who always went and did what they wanted to do on their time and was on the go, walking, taking a bus, cab, whatever, to someone who can't just up and go and leave the house and do what they want. That was really hard for me to do and to accept, as having patience. And, you know, it was the hardest thing, y'all. Like, the hardest thing, being patient with other people, time, and with yourself. And I'm gonna break that down to you right now. I wasn't like this all my life. I used to walk, I used to run, I used to be out and about doing my own thing. After having a spinal cord injury and getting hurt and stuff, being wheelchair bound, I just couldn't up and go like I used to, because it's not that easy. I have to be more cautious. I have to be more careful, you know, with everything I do, because, you know, my biggest fear after getting hurt was falling out of my chair, which I have. Thank God I haven't had any in a while, but like at the beginning of my life with living with a spinal cord injury, I've had a few falls, like 2 of my own, and then like someone else dropped me. Anyways, so being patient with other people was something I had to learn, like with a spinal cord injury. When I had to go to doctor appointments, when I had to go to therapy, I had to take like an ambulette, which I hated, because they always took their sweet time coming, especially to like pick up after you call when you're done with your appointments, whatever. That was the worst. I always hated it. It was annoying. Sometimes they would come with other people in the car, like other what do you call it, like other pickups or whatever. So that I have to wait till they drop off that person first, and then, you know. So I used to really hate that part of relying on other people, because I couldn't do what I used to do on my own, because now I'm living with a spinal cord injury and I'm so have to be dependent on others. That was something I had to learn, to be patient with my healing, being patient with my body, being patient with myself in general, because I was going through a lot and I wanted so much done, and it's like I couldn't do it. Like, I wanted to go back to work and I couldn't do that. I had to be patient and wait. I wanted to, you know, start traveling and going out and doing this and that, but I couldn't. I have to be patient. I had to wait and do it on my time, because I was still going through stuff with my body, and my body was still healing. I was still going through things mentally, which I think is going to always be there. Once you have a spinal cord injury, you're not going to be the same. Like, you know, even if you do heal and get back on your feet, you know, mentally, you're never going to be the same, because you went from living a certain way most of your life, if you're not someone who's been dealing with spinal cord injury since birth or since being a child. If you was in your adulthood when you got a spinal cord injury, it's not going to be the same. And you have to be patient with what comes with that, mentally first, then physically. So me being patient like I've gotten feeling back where I didn't have before. And like being patient with my body is something that was the hardest thing to accept and to learn how to have is patience. It's something that I cannot rush. I know back in the days when I first got hurt, I thought once I left the hospital out of rehab and stuff and I got home, I thought, all right, that's what I needed. I was like thinking I need to be home and then I'll be better. I need to be around my family. I need to go back home and I can walk again and I'll be okay. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, because I've been home for years now and I've been doing so much and I'm kind of still in the same boat. Being patient is so hard, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait. And while you're waiting, just do as much as you can do now while living with a spinal cord injury. Just taking care of yourself mentally first, then physically. Working out is really important with, you know, taking time with your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, just patience, guys, patience. So that was number 4. I think I saved the best for last, number 5, which is love yourself and your situation no matter what. Now, I know someone's probably watching, it's like, well, how is that a health tip? Well, this is a mental health tip and a physical as well. And let me break it down and tell you why. I say this because when I first got hurt with my spinal cord injury, the first year, I want to say, well, I'm sorry, before I go to that first year, I want to say like just that first, like month after it like literally hit me, like what had happened to me, what I was going through, where I'm at in my life, what I've heard from the doctors, what they said is going to be and what's not going to be. I just thought my life was over and I felt ugly. I felt like nobody would ever want me. I just felt like all over the place. I mean, I just felt like no one would ever want me and that I won't ever be like, you know, desirable like how I was when I was on my feet, because, you know, I'm disformed now, or feel like I'm disformed. It's really, really important that you love yourself for you. I cannot explain this or try to explain this. I don't know how to explain this by just using words without like it is so important, like so important for you to love yourself. And I'm speaking from a place where at the time I really didn't, because of me having a spinal cord injury. And I say that because, you know, physically, I really thought like no one's gonna ever want me, no one's gonna ever love me, and that I'm ugly because I'm like gonna be in a wheelchair for like the rest of my life, or whatever the doctor said it's gonna be, or whatever. So it took me a whole year, some change, and a lot of encouragement and love from my family mostly, and a few friends or used to be friends, to, you know, just be like, you still bomb, you're just sitting, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Self-love is the best love. And, you know, no one can really love you how you want to be loved until you love yourself that way first. And I know it probably sounds weird, because I know for love, like love for other people is differently. It can be sexual, mental, verbal, whatever. But the love I'm talking about is just like embracing yourself, embracing what you've been through, embracing everything of how strong you are, how weak you were, and just all of that love in one, and just making, you know, just the progress and how you are now. And even if right now you're someone who's watching this video and you're not as confident as I am, or where you want to be living with a spinal cord injury, you're going to get there. But it takes you first. You can't expect someone else to make you feel good about your situation, especially if they've never been in your situation. You can't expect someone to understand, you know, what you're going through, because they're not going through it. And, you know, I've had so many people in my life tell me, when I used to vent to them, because I don't do it anymore, because no one can understand what I'm going through unless they're in a wheelchair too, or have a spinal cord injury too, or have the body issues I've had or have or whatever too. So you have to love yourself. You have to figure it out yourself. Not everyone's spiritual, but talk to God, to your Buddha or whatever kind of religion you're in. If you're into that, talk to your crystals, to your stones, or whatever makes you happy. You know what? Just do that. Try to read self-love, encouraging books. Watch some videos, find some YouTubers that help you, talk to you, soothe you with, just learning how to accept your situation for what it is and work with it. You don't have full control right now, but you will. But control what you can right now. Work with what you can right now. And that's what I've learned and still learning and have done to get where I am now, to be able to sit here and be trying to tell and help someone else to get, this didn't happen overnight. It took time. It took time for me to be able to be talking like this and be so confident and just about it. So I think that's really important. I did save the best for last. Number 5 is to love yourself. In your situation, no matter what, there are going to be people that's going to make you feel like crap, and it's going to make you feel beneath beneath them and stuff, because people like to belittle some people sometimes to make themselves feel bigger. Don't even. I've been through it all. And I'm good. And I'm happy with myself. You know what I'm saying? I do have a little insecurity here and there with little tweaks, but I'll feel some way about it for a second and then let it go. So I've also met a lot of females mostly. I met males too, but I mostly, because I'm a female, so I can connect and compare with them. Well, not compare, but I can connect and understand more with a female because, I've met a lot of females who have spinal cord injuries and that are wheelchair users, and some of their situations was worse than mine, and their stories were sad because I did have a few females when I was in the hospital in Mount Sinai in the city. I was depressed, I was sad, and I was just going through a lot, and I didn't want to get out of bed a lot of times. I would deny going to go for therapy, and I just wanted to lay in the bed. It took them coming to me, telling me their stories and showing me their situations and that their levels were higher than mine and things they couldn't do that I could do, that made me appreciate my situation. That made me say, okay, it's not that bad, because she can't even use her hands. She needs help 24-hour around the clock. At least I can put my hair in a ponytail. I can feed myself. So seeing those girls and the ones who came in and told me their stories and their mothers, I even had one of the girls' mom crying to me oh, be thankful that you can do what you can do, and you can feed yourself, because my daughter can't feed herself. I was sitting up there crying with her mother, boohoo too. Yeah, you're right. I should be appreciative of what I can do right now, even though I'm in a wheelchair or whatever. But I'm sorry, guys, we're going down memory lane and just going off into a whole nother thing. But yeah, so don't feel too bad about your situation, because there's someone always out there that's going through something way worse, way harder, and just more painful than you. And I'm just happy and thankful that I can do what I can do now independently. I do have to ask for help with certain things, but for the majority and for the most part right now, I do a lot on my own. And this is something that I thought I would never be able to do when I first got hurt. And I was wrong. And, I just want to help someone who may feel this way right now and feel how I used to feel. And it's not the end of the world. It may feel that way right now, especially with all this craziness is going on. But it's not the end of the world. It's really not. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through it. You just have that. You have to have that mindset. You have to have that drive. And, not everybody has encouragement and a circle or family that can push them to that limit. I'll be that family for you. I'll be that friend, that YouTube friend. I'll help you out. I really want to do more talk videos like this, and I really do want to help people, because no one really helped me like this. I actually really got to where I'm at right now in my life for myself, even though I do still have my moments, like my last video and I said that 2020 was the worst year of my life. I was coming from a place at that time where I was going through a lot. I mean, I still am, but I'm more happier and jollier today compared to that last video. Oh my God, like someone even from off of YouTube had actually DM'd me on Instagram and asked me to call them because they feel like I'm traumatized and that I have PTSD, whatever. They said that, you know, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm human, going through a lot in my life like everybody else do. The only difference is I just decided to share it with a whole bunch of strangers around the world or whatever on my channel. I don't know if you guys noticed by now, like I come here to vent when I want to about certain stuff, and you know, I like that. You know, I could just talk to my phone or my camera or whatever, and I don't get nothing back. I just spill what I want to spill, and that's that. But I'm not going through trauma. I'm not going through PTSD. The guy who wrote me said, you know, and I'm not trying to out you if you're watching this video, because I don't know if you subscribed to me after you had wrote all that stuff, because you did like write a lot of comments in like some of my videos. But I'm not trying to out you because I didn't say your name or anything or make you feel any kind of way. I'm fine. I just had a moment where I wanted to share some stuff, and I do that. This is my channel. This is my place and my ground where I can do that, and where I'm able to do that without feeling any kind of way. Because sometimes talking about it to other people, they may act like they care, like, and having the air and saying, oh yeah, I understand. They don't understand, and they might not give me the advice I want. So if I want to vent on my channel about whatever, I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. I'm not going through any trauma. Those days are over. I had a moment. I wanted to express the moment with you guys, and I did. And I thank you for the 10 or whatever people that liked it. I don't know if you liked it for the message or just because it's a video I posted and you're just supporting me. Thank you. But hopefully you guys understood where I was coming from with that video. And now I'm just kind of getting off subject. So back to this video. I hope this helps someone who may be going through something that I've mentioned in this video. Living with a spinal cord injury is not as easy as some people may make it look, because it's not fun. It comes with a lot, mentally first and then physically, and you know, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this video up because I think I've been talking for like an hour now, and I'm not gonna post a video that's an hour because I wouldn't even really watch an hour video myself. So I'm gonna cut this video short. Again, thank you for my new subscribers and for my returning subscribers who have still been hanging with me for a while. I'm excited because I'm actually, I think this month, going on 3 years of having YouTube. So that's really big to me. And even though I'm not where I want to be with being consistent in videos and getting paid, it's like, let me stop. I'm just happy that, you know, I'm still going at it, even if it's like once a week. I really been trying to do the 3 times a week thing, but I've been super busy. Apartment hunting is so much I've been doing. I don't know if I'm going to show you guys like what I've been doing so far with that stuff, with the apartment and stuff, and trying to get it together before winter comes, because winter in New York is ugh. Thanks for watching this video. If you stayed and watched till the end, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already. And please, please, please feel free to share this video to anyone you may know who is suffering, not suffering, Priscilla, to anyone you may know who is living with a spinal cord injury. I know it's hard to find these kind of videos sometimes on here. That's why I specifically made this kind today, because I don't really see too many that gives this kind of education and stuff for people like me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more content this week, hopefully. All right guys, later.